This happened in October of 2021, when I was living alone in an old apartment complex near. Even now, years later, I still sleep with my curtains completely shut because of what happened that night. At the time, I worked overnight shifts at a warehouse on the edge of the city. My routine was always the same. I would get home around 3 or 4 a.m., eat junk food, watch random videos until sunrise, and then finally pass out from exhaustion. I was used to being alone. But there's a different kind of loneliness that hits when the entire world around you is asleep. That night, heavy rain was pouring over the city. The parking lot outside my apartment looked empty, except for a single flickering streetlight near my car. I remember sitting inside the vehicle for a moment after parking, staring at the rain hitting the windshield. Something felt wrong. Not dangerous exactly, just off. You know that strange feeling when your body notices something before your brain does? I looked around the parking lot twice before stepping out. No people, no movement, nothing except the sound of rainwater running through the gutters. Still, I hurried upstairs. The second I entered my apartment, I locked the door behind me and checked the peephole for absolutely no reason. The hallway was empty. I laughed at myself and tried to shake the paranoia off. Around 4:30 a.m., I was lying in bed scrolling through my phone when I heard it. Tap. I stopped scrolling. A few seconds passed. Then again. Tap. 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 The sound was coming from my bedroom window. At first, I convinced myself it was just tree branches moving in the wind, but there were no trees near my window. Then the tapping changed. It became slower, intentional, like somebody was standing outside carefully tapping the glass with their fingernail. Every hair on my arm stood up. I slowly looked toward the blinds covering the window, expecting to see nothing. But then the tapping stopped completely, and in that silence, I heard breathing. Not inside the apartment, right outside the window. I froze. I could actually hear someone standing there, breathing. Slow, heavy, patient. My body completely locked up. I didn't even want to move because suddenly, I became aware of how vulnerable I was. My bedroom was on the first floor. Whoever was outside was only a few feet away from me. Then my phone vibrated. Unknown number. At first I ignored it. Then another message came through. "Why are you hiding?" My stomach dropped so hard it physically hurt. I immediately sat up in bed staring at the text, trying to convince myself this had to be some prank from a coworker. Then another message appeared. "I can see you shaking." I swear my blood went cold, because I actually was shaking. I slowly turned my head toward the closed blinds. Whoever was outside could somehow see into my room. I backed away from the bed as quietly as possible and grabbed the first thing I could find for protection, a heavy lamp from my nightstand. Another text arrived. "Don't turn on the lights." That was the moment panic fully hit me. Not fear. Pure survival panic. I ran into the bathroom and locked the door behind me while trying to dial 911 with trembling hands. I could barely breathe properly. The operator kept asking me questions, but I could hardly answer because every tiny sound inside the apartment made me jump. Then I heard it. A scratching noise. Very soft at first, like metal scraping against wood. My bedroom window. Whoever was outside wasn't standing there anymore. They were trying to open it. The scratching became harder, more aggressive. I heard the window shake slightly. Then suddenly, silence. Complete silence. Those few seconds felt worse than the noise, because now I had no idea where that person was. The operator told me officers were almost there, but before I could respond, I heard something directly outside the bathroom door. A slow creak from the wooden floorboards. My entire body went numb. Someone was inside my apartment. I held my breath so hard my chest hurt. Then came 3 slow knocks on the bathroom door. Knock, knock, knock. A man's voice whispered from the other side. "I just want to talk." I can still hear that voice perfectly in my head. Calm, soft, almost friendly, which somehow made it even more terrifying. I started crying without even realizing it. I remember gripping the sink so tightly my hands hurt, while the operator kept telling me to stay quiet. Then the man whispered something else. "If you stay silent, I'll leave." A few seconds later, I heard footsteps moving away. Then my apartment door opened and closed. The police arrived less than a minute later. Officers searched the apartment, the hallway, and the entire area outside the building. But the man was gone. What they found near my bedroom window still terrifies me. Mud footprints beneath the window, scratch marks near the lock, and worst of all, a screwdriver lying in the grass. Whoever he was, he came prepared. The police believed he had been watching my apartment for days, maybe even weeks. They said criminals sometimes target people who live alone and work late-night schedules. I moved out 3 days later, but the part that still haunts me happened months afterward. I was cleaning old files from my phone when I found a blurry accidental photo taken that same night. It was dark and grainy, but when I zoomed in on the reflection in my rain-covered window, there was a face staring back at me, smiling. To this day, I still don't know how long he had been watching me before I noticed him.